What's up? Wednesday edition Pick Central, myself and Big Ev. Brought to you by DraftKings. We had the main appetizer last week. Now it's time to feast. College football is back. Don't miss any of the action. Jump in at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a full slate of games for week one. Am I on? You hear me?
You're on.
Okay, no sweat. It's a full slate of games for week one, including the big matchup in Atlanta between the preseason number 1 and number 16. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. That's a great option for the big games, too. Like you look at Miami, Florida. You got different games without mentioning the teams.
Georgia, Clemson.
There's one in Texas as well. There's one in Florida. You can take a look at some of those just to win. This is going to be DraftKings' biggest college football season to date. Enjoy the ride now all the way through the expanded playoffs. And for all newbies getting into the college spirit, here's something extra special. New DraftKings customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings all college football season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code PICKCENTRAL. That's code PICKCENTRAL for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. All right, so, we waited. There were a lot of shows where we're like, what do we got for baseball? We're kind of fighting the football storylines throughout the summer. We're here now. This is it. We start tomorrow.
Football, real football
week one,
tomorrow. Not just week 0.
Yeah.
Week 1 tomorrow. I'm fired the fuck up. It's been, like you said, we're waiting the whole time for this. We're here. We're here. We're at its doorstep. We're knocking on the door. But open the door. Welcome us in.
A little bit of a week one tomorrow, except for North Carolina, Minnesota. But we'll kind of go through.
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado.
Like, they're one of the most, if not the most, talked about team in college football.
Everyone's
for better or for worse is the truth.
Did you like what Feinbaum was saying and stuff about it? And Dion was like, "It's the same shit. You're talking about us that obviously we're not irrelevant. All that shit." Feinbaum is just. You guys like him?
No. I don't consume his. I really just don't consume his content. I'm not a South guy.
No, but he used to be just like. He was college football for a while, like back in the day, obviously. But I'm
down south. He wasn't college football like mainstream. I think down south he's got a big following.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely.
He was the they ain't playing nobody, Paul. Like that, literally.
Exactly.
He's
got ridiculous clips.
I'm sorry, we have the Rizzler coming in today, and I have 5 minutes with him today, so this guy's. Do you know the Rizzler?
Yeah.
You know him?
I know him. Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I'm not I'm aware where he is and how he says meatballs.
What?
He says meatballs. I think that's I haven't watched enough. Like I'm not the. I
can't believe you're not a fan, Dukes.
I'm
his
a
homemade
fan,
wings video is like my favorite thing in the video.
I just haven't watched a lot of his videos.
Have you seen that?
What'd you say?
He Jinxie the streamer.
Yeah.
gives him wing
wings?
challenges, and he tastes one. He's homemade. He's like homemade.
This kid's 8 years old. He's fucking he's like the most famous person on TikTok right now. He's incredible. That's why I'm sorry. I'm excited. I'm gonna have to meet him.
The only thing I'm gonna say really quick, I don't have any other place to say this, is. I think he's so famous right now because of also how much people are starting to hate AJ and Big Justice. That's all. That's a take that I've like. He doesn't have to do anything for him to be more likable. That's all I wanted to say.
This is the only place I could probably ever say this besides Glenny Balls. Big Justice is jealous of the Rizzler.
Reeks.
Is Big Justice the dad of the kid?
The kid. AJ is the
dad.
This is so bad that this is what our world is now, but it's what's happening, you know?
I have a weird thing to ask, just if we're talking Costco. Are you a Costco guy, Bosco? Because I could see you being a huge one.
I was a BJ's guy. Now I'm a Costco guy.
I think all of us
You got a
BJ
membership?
guys.
Yeah, I had memberships to both.
I was never a Costco. I never really.
BJ's was offering a discount to first responders. So I would cross the bridge to go to BJ's, but then you do the math and you're like, this doesn't make sense.
First responders get discounted at BJ's?
They did.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's rock and roll.
They did. And now I'm to Costco. We the membership ran out and we were like, you know what? Let's just go to Costco.
Sam's Club was a big vibe by me.
Yeah.
Not a Sam's Club.
Costco can
What is Price Club? My grandmother used to say Price Club. That was Costco.
That was Costco.
The reason I know Price Club is from Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Bag of groceries from fucking Price Club.
Yeah, exactly. My grandmother was big on that. But no, Costco's good. Costco's good.
Just wish they gave bags, but it's fine.
Yeah, I wish they gave
No one
anything.
gives bags anymore. It's disgusting.
It's honestly
Crazy.
I went to Target.
We care too much about the environment.
I went to Target the other day, and I didn't have a bag with me, and they didn't have bags for me to buy. So I just had rogue chicken cutlets. I had rogue fucking fruit. I was like, how am I supposed? What do you expect me to do? How am I supposed to know you don't have bags?
It's fucking awful.
It's a sad world.
You should sell a $10 duffel bag,
Sure.
like a special.
Yeah.
As well, you know what I mean?
They just banged me out for $20 bag. I would have bought it right
They
there.
sell
exactly.
those $3 fucking little bags like Acme sells them.
Brutal.
And shit.
All right, what do you want to do? You want to go through the big games? Let's go through the big 5.
Sure.
What
right.
What do you mean though?
Or you want to do Thursday first?
Because we're
and
gonna
then go
have
big games.
because we should just only do because we have Brad tomorrow too.
All right.
So he's gonna unless you want to because you're not gonna be here. But
We could do Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, me and Marty will do all the big games Friday.
Friday's light too, but you could
Friday-
you could save it for Saturday. That's fine.
Yeah, because we're gonna do because Friday we're gonna talk all just college football.
All right, so let me pull up Thursday.
We got a few on Thursday. There's a few like smaller conference games that I like as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch of Marty specials in here too. Like
Oh, yeah.
UCF minus 41.5
this is
against
Marty. If you love those big
New
favorites.
Hampshire.
Oh, it's happening.
I don't really like them, but God bless.
25 and up.
Arkansas minus 48.5 against Arkansas Pine Bluff over 57.
Everyone,
These
if
are
you
the
don't know
specials.
what the Marty special is, it's basically if you can rent a car. That's number 26. It starts at 26 and up. Anything 26 and up, you bet 100%. And what are those so far? That's NC State minus 32.5.
Yeah, I mean it's all of them. So Thursday it's
Zoo, oh my
Rutgers minus 36.5, NC State minus 33.5, UCF minus 41.5, Wake minus 35, Central Michigan minus 32.5 against Central Connecticut State, Arkansas minus 48.5 against Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Bro, Lindenwood's not a real school.
Yeah, I looked at that. I looked at that over.
45.5.
Have I heard of Lindenwood?
I
Put some
looked at that
respect on
over.
Lindenwood's name.
No. I won't respect them. They're playing Kansas minus 42.5.
45.5.
45.5? Oh, yeah, I went to 45. Kansas all day.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Lindenwood?
A lot of points.
I can play for Lindenwood right now.
R.I.P. Lindenwood.
What jumps out to you Thursday?
They're cutting programs. They can't even keep the lacrosse team.
They're like a meme. They're like a meme on lacrosse right now. Like, there's a page called No Context Lacrosse where Lindenwood is like a meme. Like I know every lacrosse guy this weekend is taking Lindenwood. It's like
Just out of respect.
yeah, just out of respect.
Pour one out.
Yeah,
Lindenwood
I'm taking them.
Yeah. What jumps out to you Thursday? What are you
Minnesota
on?
+2.
Yeah.
Love them.
I was going.
That's
back.
the biggest game of the night, Thursday night.
I would honestly say Colorado is bigger.
More people will watch Colorado.
Way more people watch Colorado.
Right. That's a good point. But in terms of the two best programs, Colorado is playing who? An FCS team?
If you're looking
they're
at
playing,
it,
they're playing North Dakota State.
Right.
if you're looking at it as a real just college football fan, it's North Carolina, Minnesota is the two biggest names, but Colorado, North Dakota State is going to beat them in views by a ton.
Colorado's only laying 9.5 in that game.
I like Colorado.
Also, same time, I'm going Colorado. I've completely switched. I think the whole world's went to North Dakota State being like that's the sharp play, and now I think it's Colorado.
I just think people think this is the same. Like I talked about a little bit yesterday, the same like bank on the offensive line, defensive line, like beat Colorado in the trenches. I think Colorado's going to be like a little better in the trenches. And I think this North Dakota State team is like not that same like beat you up team that they have. Like they're not this like national title team they've had in recent memory.
Who won it last year?
I don't think they played last year.
Who won it last year? South Dakota State?
Yeah. Who's playing Oklahoma State this week?
Oh,
But,
and I also love
Love
South Dakota State.
Martin, I gotta, or should I even say it?
What?
No, I wouldn't say it.
Should
What?
I wait?
Yeah, I would wait. There's a pick 'em. I came out, said what I liked, and Jack Mack said, "Oh," and then just gave a stat, just demoralizing me.
Basically, just said Bosco.
Demoralizing.
Bosco said his pick of the week, and Jack Mack was like, "Yeah, that's the most public pick of the whole week."
Just
Jack
demoralizing.
McCarthy or Jack Mack?
McGuire.
McGuire.
Like not for cameras. Like we're just in.
I don't
no
look at the
cameras?
public. No cameras.
just at
I
our
don't look at the
desks.
public though. So
So why are you saying? Why
Coincidental.
can't we save it? It wasn't on camera.
we still haven't released the show. That's all.
You did it on the show.
We did it on the show.
He said his lock on Pick'em,
I said the lock
sorry.
on pick.
and,
I
then
thought-
he said it to like told like me and Jack Mack would like.
Oh yeah, save it for
We
sure.
were just talking college football picks.
Yeah.
And Bosco said what he liked best was his lock, and Jagmite was like, yeah, that's the most popular pick of the week.
Yeah, tell me after, because now I need to know.
It's very funny.
That's fucking funny. When's the show come out?
Tonight or tomorrow?
Probably tonight.
Probably
Say
tonight.
tonight.
Yeah, it's usually been like 8 p.m. premieres.
Yeah.
What'd you record it this morning?
Yeah, just now.
It's a very funny
you,
moment.
You seem like you're in okay mood.
It was good, yeah. I mean, you get dunked on left and right, but you just move on. You know what I mean?
That's a great point. If I was a listener, I would just listen to Pick Central every single Wednesday to see Bosco's mood to be like, oh, wow. Like,
That's
Yeah,
what we
exactly.
did last year, because last year was the craziest roller coaster, and we would know like how your mood every time. I'd know how Pick'em went.
Yeah.
But you're
2 years ago, I would say was the craziest roller coaster.
Oh, that was 2 years ago. Sorry, that
2
was
years ago. Yeah, last year I think was a little bit stabilized. We got the ship a little
yeah,
bit.
the year that I was on it with you.
Yeah, that was a run for the ages.
That was when you almost left, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, yeah, it did leave.
He did leave.
Well, you did leave.
Holiday party, he said, Dukes, great year.
Yeah.
Great
He
year.
never told me he was leaving.
Dap
By the
me
way,
up.
They
I
were
was
counting.
staying in
They
touch.
were standing by the door. They were counting down the time I had left. It was like you have 5 minutes to gather your things at your desk, and they didn't even let me gather the stuff at the desk. So,
shout out HIPAA.
shout out Hippo. Hell of a run. Hell of a run.
Yeah, Colorado minus 9.5.
All right. Why do you like Colorado?
Yeah, I said I just think they're going to out athlete the shit out of them. I think they're better. I think they were improved in the trenches. I think they will be from what they were last year, which was bad. So a lot of room for improvement, but I think they'll be a little better. I'm curious. They signed like basically the #1 tackle in the class, who's about to start at left tackle as a true freshman, who they're pretty high on. So we'll see if that stabilizes Shitter Sanders staying off his back. But yeah, I think I'll lay the 9.5 here at home.
I'm kind of reiterating what you guys said yesterday too. Like Shador's, I was kind of went back on you two yesterday about like Quinn Ewers and all these other quarterbacks. Shador's fucking really good.
Really good.
I was looking at some tape last night, and holy shit!
Watching tape, Marty?
I'm watching tape. I'm trying to do a little bit of research this year for college football, because NFL I'm locked in this year. This is the most locked in I've been for NFL. College football, I'm trying to do a little more research because I want to contribute more to when Brad's on and all that shit. But, like, he's on the run, he can fucking throw a dot. And that he was on the run 1,000 times last year because of this line. It's only thing I'm worried about is the line.
He's accurate as shit, and he's a good decision maker.
You said, he doesn't throw the ball away. Like, he
hold
throws
it
the ball
too much
away
or
a lot.
anything.
Yeah, he doesn't throw it. He needs to throw it away a little more. But yeah, no, I think Colorado might smoke them. But the other one, I don't know what your thing is, but South Dakota State is my favorite play. Not my favorite play. I like it.
NDSU
Why do you like
coach.
that?
I have no idea. Someone told me, but I'm guessing that might be what we might be. If I had to guess.
The best player that you've ever faced. Yeah, I mean that's.
Probably
Probably accurate.
Definitely possible. I mean, he's going to
I
be.
don't think that's going out on a limb.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be a first round quarterback next year.
Right. I don't think that's going out on a limb. The only thing I just worry about, like, what do we make of I don't know. I just think Dion's got so many distractions on that sideline, or like it's just such a circus sometimes.
You sound like the media.
I'm not
'Cause
but
I
it's-
get what you mean.
I'm trying not to be the old school media, but like you see it. There's a lot. There's a lot going on.
I have a question. So, Shador went on Nelk podcast, which is crazy, but he went on and he kind of said one time he said that we're everyone's Super Bowl, which in a weird way, not because of how good they are, it's just because one, like you said, Snoop Dogg's on the sideline.
Right.
You got cool people on the sideline, and
They
you
have all
will
the
be
attention.
talked about more if you beat Colorado. You just will. So he's kind of right. It is their Super Bowl, even though it's not like they're not like Georgia and Alabama, which that you would think those are the people's Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it almost puts more pressure on another team as well. I don't know. I think it is a little bit of a circus, but also that's kind of what his job is, to make Colorado relevant.
Right. Yeah, it's a catch-22. Like he
It's
wants
weird.
to
I
have
get what
it.
you mean.
Yeah, in order for them to be relevant, he's kind of have a little bit of a circus. But I don't know. I just think thinking back to he ran everybody out in terms of transfers and stuff like that. Like there's a lot going. I'll just put it that way. I think that's a fair way to say it. Whether you like him or dislike him, there's a lot going on at Colorado. It seems like at all times.
But are you saying he ran everybody out his first year or like this off?
First year,
But first year, that team was dog shit.
right?
Like it was it was a 1-11 team who beat like.
Didn't a lot of guys transfer then this year and like say and left on
He
him?
had a top 10 transfer class.
But he also brought in a lot. Like he brought in guys
Yeah.
too, and he actually, like I said, he brought in the number 1 tackle in the
Right,
class.
he's bringing in a
That
lot
was
of
an-
guys,
that
but a
was
lot
an
of guys are leaving as well. So they're
But I
kind
think
of
you're
tired
seeing,
of.
he's definitely had more turnover than most. But you're seeing it's only been 1 year. You're seeing a lot of that everywhere.
Yeah.
I know like Brandon harps on this a lot. Like the fact that he hasn't really recruited high school this year. Like this class, I don't think he had a single high school recruit.
What?
No, we were saying that's going to be a freshman this year.
Yeah.
I'm saying he brought in the number
No.
number 1 tackle in the class.
Then maybe it's 2025. It's something like they're like
I'll
the
be
senior
honest.
class this year. I don't really care.
Why would you?
Well, we've kind of seen that work in college basketball,
Exactly.
rather than going to the. freshman
But you need
portal.
way more bodies. in football.
Agreed. No, totally agree.
I
Totally
think
agree.
More of your recruits should be the transfer portal first, then high school. At this point, wouldn't you rather
Yes.
experience if you can get the good
Guys
ones?
who have already played in the portal as
But
well.
if you're like Alabama or Ohio State and you're going to get a top 5 recruiting class, get that top 5
That's
recruiting
different.
class. That's so
Yeah.
different.
That's
Yeah.
completely different.
like if you're going to get the 35th ranked recruiting class and you have to pay someone like more than you want, don't pay that.
Well, I also think it's more important rather than basketball. In football, guys have to stay for 3 years, so you have to recruit those recruits in high school. You have to build and get them to stay. Now, whether they stay is one thing or not, but like in the transfer portal, that's great. You get a guy for a year. High school, you get that guy for 3 years if all things go right.
Well, also,
Facts.
with the transfers, it depends too, because all these guys are younger guys that have eligibility. Like they brought in Down Hayden, who's an Ohio State back, who I love this guy. Love him. He started a couple years ago, ran for like 180 yards against Maryland. He just ended up in a weird spot with Ohio State this year where you brought in Judkins, Trayvon Henderson stayed, which no one thought he was going to do that. So he thought he was going to have to be basically a third year being the third back, when I think this guy could start for like almost any Power 5 team. I think he's going to be a stud there as long as the O-line can block a little bit. They brought in quite a few guys. Like they should be good. I
But
mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. What Dukes is right, where it's like, if you can get those fucking really, really good guys from high school, of course. But if you can get a guy who's played 2 years already at a pretty good school to come over to your school, I think that's more valuable than a question mark at the 120th guy in high school or
Right.
something like that.
No, it makes sense. The other big one is North Carolina, Minnesota. Why did you love Minnesota, Marty?
What?
Minnesota over North Carolina.
I just don't like. I honestly don't like North Carolina's defense. That's all I've read. This is my research, you know.
Yeah, I mean Minnesota's still rocking with Fleck, right?
yeah, they've been very
They have.
They had
been.
that good start when he was there. They were better. They've kind of been.
But I agree with Marty though. Carolina will make you sick playing them on defense. I've laid them against Duke. I know it's different years over different years, but sometimes I think it's like does USC like ever have a defense? You know what I mean? Does who else am I trying to think of that was like is a perennial? Oklahoma. Does Oklahoma ever really have like a shutdown defense? They've been better on defense, but certain programs, Carolina, there might just be something in the water where they don't stop anybody. And Minnesota's going to try and ground and pound from what I estimate, right?
Yeah, they should. They're definitely going to run the ball for sure.
So like 4 yards a clip, 6 yards a clip. Like just give me. I think Minnesota is the way to go there.
I kind of like the under. I was debating North Carolina. I like Max Johnson's the quarterback.
Max Johnson from.
He was at A&M, LSU.
Okay.
Now he's in North Carolina. I believe he's Brad Johnson's son. I'm pretty sure. The quarterback, the team that won that Bucs Super Bowl. He's weird because he's shown some flashes. Like I remember they had that game when he played for A&M. They beat LSU and then he went to LSU, or maybe it was the other way around. But I don't know. I think the defense is going to be improved, but I think Minnesota is definitely going to want to slow it down quite a bit. They're going to run the ball a lot. That's why I kind of like the under. It's under 50.5.
Okay.
But right now I'm not I'm leaning North Carolina, but I'm not sure if I'm going to definitely take that side or not.
Anything jump out in what we talked about in those big time in Thursday night as well? The big time spreads, like teams looking to prove something. Talk me out of Utah over 53. It's minus 38. Do we think if we're going to score 38, like Utah minus the 38, Illinois, Marty, are there anything of the big monsters you like? Kansas?
The only one I don't love is Illinois against Eastern Illinois, minus 28. That's the only one I don't love that's over the 26 mark. Kansas is my favorite one because they're playing fucking Lindenwood.
Going against the whole lacrosse community.
You know who's been a good like get it and go team too is NC State. I feel like.
Yeah, that
NC
I
State
love
minus
that.
33.5
NC
against
State's
Western
like
Carolina.
They're my team this year.
Yeah.
Love them.
I'm like, I picked them to make the playoff, which like no one is picking them to do. I picked them to. I had them losing to Miami in the ACC championship game.
So you love them minus 32.5?
Sure.
Yeah, you do.
I like them way more for the season. I'm not crazy about laying like the huge numbers and stuff. I have to like really, really love it.
Let's go big picture. Who are some of the teams, Marty, you've been doing the research too. Who are some of the teams that are ranked or have a little number next to them that you either think are under the radar or are you're selling? So like Missouri being number 11 in the country. Is that a buy or a sell for you?
They were so good
Play
last
Thursday
year,
night.
but they lost so much on defense. Like they lost so many good guys to the NFL. I think they're hyped because they bring back Cook. They bring back Schrader. Luther Burton might be the best receiver in the country. I want him. He's unbelievable. Like lock, like top 10, 15 pick in the draft.
You know who I'm buying? Iowa.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a dangerous statement.
Yeah, I am.
to make, man.
I'm buying them.
No, but you're gonna do with
But
Iowa?
Here's the thing with Iowa. No more divisions.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
No, yeah, that's correct.
No more divisions in the Big Ten. So they're not getting that pass where you could say they could win the Big Ten. They're not getting that pass into the division.
I know. I'm buying. I don't
You
know.
got to give me more on that.
It's exactly what you think. They did get better from last year. They did. Well, why don't you think so?
Why do you think they got better?
Well, their defense is still fantastic.
No, their defense will be good, but we know that already.
I think the quarterback can get it going a little more than usual.
I mean, they did change coordinators, right?
Yeah, I mean, French's
Had
son.
to, yeah.
I mean, he had in his contract they didn't average 25 points a game.
Listen,
Yeah.
you're telling me with this schedule they can't get it going? They play Ohio State, which is a loss. Done.
When?
Fine.
They don't play them right away.
No.
not right away.
Listen to this quick. Illinois State, Iowa State at home.
Iowa State, I think, is a loss.
At home. That's
Iowa State's very
I think
pesky.
Iowa State's another team I'm like buying.
That game's just going to be decided by a field goal. It always is.
Troy-
Like war. That's one of the
Troy-
most underrated like rivalry games out there.
Troy
Should be a win, but a frisky game.
at home. Minnesota.
Should be a win.
Washington. That's Ohio State. That's a loss. Washington,
Tough game.
Michigan State,
Should be a win,
Northwestern,
but tough game.
Wisconsin, UCLA, Maryland, Nebraska. It's not a terrible.
It's not a terrible schedule.
No, it's not.
They
didn't get a
favor.
bad
They have a
draw.
nice little draw in the.
That's
Big
what
Ten.
I'm saying. Where it's like that's a team that loses Ohio State, which ever at Ohio State.
They'll lose
which is
2 or
fine.
3 games.
You think 3?
You think they can make
Maybe.
the playoff?
I think
They
they
could
make
lose
the playoff.
3.
No, I don't think they
I
I
think
think
they
they'll
can
be
make the
9 and
playoff.
3.
I think they make the playoff.
9 and 3 is the ceiling. Put it that way.
I think they can go.
I think 10 and 2 is probably the ceiling.
10 and 2. They make the playoff.
I guess ceiling like max ceiling. I guess 11 and 1. And if you're talking
10 and 2. You think they make the playoff?
no, I don't.
I don't think so, man.
Not with that schedule. They're not gonna have it. What wins are you gonna hang your hat on? If they lose,
Well,
I think they
also-
would have just gotten a nice little record, but yeah, they wouldn't have beat anybody.
It
and
all
to me,
depends, though. You know, like these teams could all of a sudden become ranked, and you don't know at the end. of the year.
I think they're gonna lose to Iowa State. I think they're gonna lose to Ohio State. And I
Iowa
think
State, if they beat Iowa State,
Nebraska's up this year.
I think
I'm buying the
Nebraska's
hype
gonna
on
beat 'em,
Nebraska.
too.
Maybe I've been talking to Will too much, but I think Nebraska
Yeah.
is one of those teams I'm buying.
No, I am too.
Look at-
I
pull
like
up-
play them at home.
Pull up Nebraska's schedule. Nebraska could start up 6-0.
I think Nebraska's gonna win like 8-9
100%.
games.
UTEP, Colorado, Northern Iowa, Illinois, Purdue, Rutgers.
I think they start 5-0, and then the Rutgers is like a
Then
big.
Indiana, then it's Ohio State, UCLA.
I legitimately think they could be undefeated going to the Ohio State game. I think that's not out of the realm of possibility at all.
Well, they start off with a loss right away, Nebraska. Against Colorado.
No, they don't start with a loss against Colorado.
Listen, Nebraska does this though. They lose to the games that you don't think they're going to lose. They always do.
All right, so if everything goes right, you're telling me that they're not. Who's the 5th game? 'Cause the logo's
You
blocking.
cannot say that, though. I don't think if you're going to dismiss Marty's, if everything goes right for Iowa, they're 11-1.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Where
Just give me
Iowa's
the
actually
first- pull
proven
up- pull
more.
up-
Give me the first 6.
Give me the first 6.
Give me the first 6
Who's
and
next-
out.
Who's next to
More that
Rutgers?
they're more-
Who's next to Rutgers? I can't see the team. Purdue. They could be 6-0 going into, or 7-0 going into Ohio State.
If they
That's
could, for
factual.
sure.
Well,
Yeah,
worst
but
case, they
so-
could be
You
6-1.
can't say it's
Their win total
factual
7.5.
because again they lose to shitty teams
Totally.
every year.
Totally.
But I just said Iowa. You said 3 losses.
I don't
How
think
did you
that's-
give them 3 losses?
He said their ceiling. I think there's
I
definitely.
think their ceiling is
games,
9 and
but-
3.
That's
They'll lose a
crazy.
game they're not. I was going to lose a game they're not supposed to either.
But you just said Nebraska's gonna have 7-0.
So you think Nebraska's you're buying the coach?
I'm definitely buying the coach. And
I'm buying coach
quarterback.
and quarterback.
You're buying
the
Will
coach and the
Compton.
quarterback.
That's what you're buying.
No, I'm buying the coach and the
not
quarterback.
Ev.
And I'm buying this
Rico's buying
schedule.
Will Compton.
I'm buying this schedule.
You're buying Will Compton. It's fine. You got it.
Buying this schedule.
I like
that schedule is
Nebraska, too.
favorable. They could
So
be
is
back.
Iowa's.
That could be. That
It's
could
like
be
the
game
same
day.
schedule, actually.
Ohio State, Nebraska could be game day.
Iowa and Nebraska almost have the identical schedules.
Hey, Bosco, do you guys think this though that with Raiola, or that's the quarterback?
Yeah.
Really, yeah.
I love him and I agree with you. I think everyone that they return on defense. If I could buy a team, Nebraska is one of those teams. But now I think they're getting a little trendy.
A little too trendy.
But in one of these 3 games, I close my eyes and I'm like, I could see him throwing up a stinker, and Nebraska is in like a dogfight. Like this is a bad loss. It's the Rutgers game, the Indiana game, and Colorado maybe. No, I don't think Colorado. I think
Colorado, I think they get
I
revenge from last year.
was gonna say Illinois, but I really don't.
No, Rutgers will be a tough ass game.
That's
You don't think Colorado?
Rutgers will be a
could
tough
beat them?
game.
You don't think Colorado could beat them?
Colorado
I won't say
definitely
they
can beat them.
saying they
Colorado
can.
definitely can beat them.
Can't- yeah,
That's going to
I
be
wouldn't say can't.
The season gets dictated which way Nebraska goes.
That
in
spread already
in
is
that game.
-6 Nebraska.
The way
Like,
the
that's-
season gets
they
dictated.
should be
If
allowed- they should
Nebraska
keep them
wins
up in the
that game,
trenches.
gets over the hump in a rivalry type thing there, and then they're off and running at 2-0. Watch out.
He's scheduled.
I feel like we do this all the time.
You know, I like Nebraska. 'Cause I think Rule back for another year. The Rail kid, I just really like. I think he's going to be kind of like a program, like game changer for them.
I would love to see Will if they're 7-0. I'd love to see that.
I mean, it'd be awesome. And then they come into Columbus and just get trounced.
Does Ohio State have any like really tough games?
Yeah, they got to go to Oregon.
Oregon?
Tough ass game. Yeah. They got Michigan at home the end of the year. Like that's still going to be a tough game. Like Michigan's got a great defense.
Wow.
Yeah, Penn State.
I'm sorry. What a give a clap for the Rizzler.
That chain is good.
This man is
Rizzler's in the
fucking
house.
unbelievable.
Rizzler's in the house.
What a king. Just what an absolute
got the
king.
Riz.
Oh, he's got the shirt
Riz
that's
can?
in the yeah.
Also,
the Riz.
shout out is like the reason why he could only the only reason he can
Don't
come,
show him. Don't show him.
Oh no, but the only reason he
First
could come
time?
today is because
I worry it's yours some days.
because his dad had to take off. You know, like that's why I love this. His dad had to take off his job. Love that.
His dad had to take off his job to get him here today.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's why I
How
love
is he
it.
gonna get here? What is he gonna take the train? He's 8 years old.
Yeah.
Imagine the Rizzlers taking the
Surprised he
train.
doesn't have a driver.
Yeah, he should, right?
You just like walk.
Look at
Security.
Glenny. Fuck, Glenny's hawking him, waiting to do some content. I can't wait to get out of here and do the content too. This guy he's unbelievable, and he looks exactly like his dad. Honestly,
Meet Bowles.
Homemade.
I'm starstruck.
He's a child. It's hilarious.
Yeah, he's 8
It's
years old.
hilarious. He's a child.
But his dad and him are the same height.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, we made him a welcome sign.
Yeah,
I don't think we didn't have a welcome sign for Kate Upton.
we had Michael
for
B.
Michael B.
Jordan,
no welcome signs.
The Glenny
Jessica
production.
Alba.
Yeah, now but
No, welcome sign on the door.
Rizzler,
Glenny
welcome
production.
sign.
He's looking at me. He's fucking.
Glenny's grinning ear to ear
It's a
Glenny moved
production.
back his flight for Sunday Conversation for this.
for the Rizzler. Rizzler, man.
Who are
God
some
bless.
other teams you're buying or selling?
I gotta just say hi to him. I'll come right back.
All right.
Can
I
I
have to
have?
say hello.
Can I ask you two a question?
Yes.
Because I'm getting into the college football groove again. Like I've done some research on a couple teams. What about Auburn? What's to like about Auburn? What's not?
I
to
don't
like
know
about
anything about Auburn. I'll be honest.
I know a little
I'll
bit.
defer to you on
so
that.
they brought it. So they Peyton Thorne's going to be the quarterback. He was a Michigan State guy.
Okay.
He had kind of platooned a little bit with Ashford last year, who's now at South Carolina. He's okay, not great. I think they brought in this receiver Coleman, who's like a true freshman receiver, who they say is like unbelievable, like going to be a starter day one, like impact guy day one. So I think there's some promise like going forward. Obviously, Hugh Freeze is there. I think they're projected very kind of like bottom middle of the road SEC, and that's kind of where I see them too. Like the SEC is just tough, man. It's deep as hell. So I mean, I think there's like a lot of like that, because I think that the top 6, in my opinion, that SEC, you have like Georgia, Bama, Texas, Ole Miss. You have like Tennessee, like A&M's trying to be up there, and then you've got like that big middle group of like Kentucky, Auburn. Mizzou's in like the more toward the top 2.
Do you believe in the Texas A&M again? Like I feel like they're huge every year. Like they do have a lot of hype.
I don't think they have a ton of hype this year. Like I went out on a limb kind of. I picked them to make the playoff because of their schedule, and I think they're going to beat Notre Dame this Saturday. Which I think is going to be huge for them.
Well, you're wrong about that. But
no, I'm definitely not wrong.
You're wrong.
There is a good point.
Notre Dame right now is the most. Notre Dame is the most overrated team in the country.
Mike Elko.
No, they're not.
Mike Elko coached Riley.
I can't Notre Dame. You might as well flush that. Like
the ticket's live and well.
Yeah, it's cooked. Well, it never had a chance.
Well, it's still if they lose the first game, they're still going to be fine.
No. The crazy thing is they're going to lose to A&M, and their schedule is so soft. They're still going to make the playoff.
Pull it up,
of course,
because they're Notre Dame. They're going to
went through this.
I know you're shitting on my bet, but like you know why I did it because of that. Like 11-1, you're in the playoff.
No, they're going to go 10-2. They're going to. I picked to make the playoff because I think they're going to go 10-2. They're going to be the 11.
Losing the second.
They're going to be the 11 seed. I think they either lose to USC or even I still think they could lose to Florida State.
No.
Pull up their schedule.
Yeah,
their schedule's weak.
Buying Auburn. Is that who you want me to pull up?
Auburn? No, I wanted Notre Dame, but you can pull up Auburn too if you're buying Auburn. Let's do it. Is Auburn ranked?
No.
That's why I think they're going to finish the year ranked.
Okay.
That's all.
Like Notre Dame.
Well, that's not a crazy statement in the SEC because if you go,
you get 2 losses.
Yeah,
I'm giving them 2
SEC
losses.
teams get ranked. They lose fucking 3 times and still stay ranked.
I mean, if you.
That's buying though.
Yeah, I just would my thing with Notre Dame is just if you. Even Louisville's a tough game, like, because I think they lose to A&M. They'll beat
Miami, Ohio's.
Miami, Ohio's. I mean, we've seen them lose to Marshall.
They took fucking like
Toledo.
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen them.
Yep. Who else?
They're just not that good. Like to me, the fact that they're ranked 7th is
Georgia Tech's going to be better than people think.
Like them being ranked 7th is crazy.
I want everyone to remember this date. It is August 28th, where I get to come back and say that Big Ev was wrong.
About what?
About how Notre Dame is not. You're telling them.
I picked them to make the playoff.
Yeah, but you're saying they're dog shit.
I think they're overrated as fuck. Yes. I said their schedule's so weak they'll get away with somehow losing 2 games and they'll slide in the playoffs still because they're Notre Dame. They're gonna play like Ole Miss or Oregon or somebody and get embarrassed.
What do you not like about them though? What do you not like about them?
Offensive line. They lost their starting left tackle. They're starting straight underclassmen across the board on their offensive line.
But they always have the best offense. Like Notre Dame's known for
that's like this year they will not have the best offensive line.
You're taking a downgrade on the offensive line.
The
defensive line is fucking legit.
Well, of course, you lose Joe Alt, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. Obviously,
but then they lost their left tackle, who was their best offensive lineman.
They got hurt.
Yeah.
I'm just
down
saying
for the year
they
with
are
ACL.
known for offensive linemen.
Yeah, you don't think they'll just reload?
I think there's always going to reload.
They're starting all freshmen and sophomores.
Isn't that like what Notre Dame does? Like,
no, it's not what they do. They usually have a bunch of upperclassmen who are dogs.
You don't think they
usually got Zach Martin and Joe Alts and guys like that up there, and they don't this year.
You don't think by week 4 that these guys could be like
not one of the best offensive line? No.
They also upgraded at quarterback from last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm surprised.
I like Riley Leonard.
Honestly,
I like Riley Leonard.
Fucking what's his name got cut yesterday.
Yeah, Sam Hartman
from the Commanders.
Yeah, I mean, I think Leonard's better. He's more athletic. I just when I don't know, when I just look at this team, for me it's like I see the number 7 ranked team and I'm like, this team is not the 7th best team in the country. They're just not.
If they beat Texas A&M, will you retract a little bit?
I guess, yeah. I mean, if they do, yeah. If they go into A&M and win, I'll be like, sure. I mean, but not even though, because I said I picked them to make the playoffs, so I'm still kind of like, I think they're going to lose
because of what I get why you're
because
picking
their brand.
Because their
like
brand,
they'll get the tiebreaker over some team that probably is better than them and deserves it.
No, they would 100%.
No, this one's gonna happen.
Wouldn't you rather Notre Dame than a fucking?
The problem is there's gonna be like a 3-loss SEC team who is way better than them, like they're just a better football team, but they'll put Notre Dame in instead of them. I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen. I see the future.
I'd be okay with that.
It's gonna be like a Tennessee or like somebody like that, like A&M. Well, that game for them is gonna be huge. Mizzou, like a team like that, is gonna have like 2-3 losses. And it's gonna be like them or Notre Dame.
What is that? Allen Field?
Yeah.
Saturday night for Kyle Field.
Kyle Field.
Why did I think Allen Field? Kyle Allen.
The quarterback was Allen. Yeah, Kyle Allen was a quarterback there at one point.
Oh. They all run together. Kyle Field. All right, yeah, pull up Auburn.
Win.
Tough schedule.
Win.
Tough ass schedule.
Wait. Go to the first 3.
Stu. Legend. Stu Feiner in the house.
Alabama A&M.
I'm going to say that's a win.
Cal, give them a win. New Mexico, win.
Mexico, give them a win. Arkansas,
even probably a win.
Oklahoma at home.
Loss.
Okay, I had them at a win on
See,
that.
this is the run. What's your number?
They're not
Are you
beating
chasing a number, or you just think you're just looking at them in general?
Vibes.
Because they could lose 3 in a row there without any sweat.
They probably
and they wouldn't be
will
doing anything wrong. They'd be a dog in 3 of those games.
Oklahoma-
I think they lose 4 in a row.
Oklahoma. Wait.
I think
Which
I
games?
lose to Oklahoma, Georgia, Mizzou, Kentucky.
Oh yeah. Here's. I think
God,
they
that's
beat.
a
I think
awful
Oklahoma.
4 games
I
in a
think
row.
Oklahoma's a pro.
But that's the SEC, though. You can't.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
No.
the SEC now, and that's
brutal.
you know who else that is? That's the Big Ten.
It's brutal.
Yeah, that's why you don't pick any of those teams.
And
to
like
fucking
quietly, listen.
No, but
they're not
will
on the
make it
same.
because
make
they'll
it.
get-
Of
I'm gonna
course
say
they will,
this.
but not Auburn won't.
Ev, I'm gonna
Auburn
say that.
won't.
I'm gonna say this. Back me up a little, or like say if it's bullshit or not. There's stretches in the Big 12 where you get 4 games that are like brutal. Don't get me wrong. It's not the Big 10 and it's not the SEC, but like Utah, Kansas State, Iowa State, you're going into brutal type of environments 4 in a row.
There's
Some of these
there's
teams.
levels to the brutal though, because you see that, but then there's like a Florida brutal where it's like
Oh,
you go back to
100%.
back at
Listen,
Texas,
listen.
at Georgia.
In terms of levels of difficulty, the SEC and the Big 10 like brutal 4s are like 10 out of 10. It's levels of fire.
They literally have to
But
play
you
like
ain't-
Texas,
it ain't-
Georgia,
it ain't-
Ole Miss.
It ain't no fucking picnic in the Big 12 as well. You're walking through 4
not a
games in a
picnic.
row that are no picnic.
Not a picnic, but you'd sign up for it in a heartbeat compared to like
Going to West
Georgia, Ole
Virginia
Miss.
as well, going to Baylor. Like there's some tough environments in the Big 12.
No doubt. But think about what you're saying. Like you just compared like Baylor to like going like to Austin, Texas, to like Athens, Georgia.
No, what I'm comparing
To
is that
LSU,
all the
Baton Rouge,
conferences can have a
LSU,
tough run. You can only
Tennessee.
play who's in your conference. All the conferences can have a tough run. That's my point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But SECs is just like.
Oh, SEC, I don't
I mean,
even-
you're like I said, Florida has a stretch the last 5 of the last 6 games. Right now, they're played top 15 teams.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Pull up the rest of Auburn.
Insane.
So this is, and my thinking is they have a lot of their games at home. Okay.
Okay.
So like, for me, I'm looking at the Oklahoma Auburn game. I think that's an Auburn win based off of Hugh Freeze kind of needs that to get the program going. And I think he's a very good.
It'll be a
coach.
tough. It should be a tough game
Right.
for Oklahoma. It's not going to be an easy
If the
game.
if the line's like 3.5, 4.5, I'm probably gonna take Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, home unranked
Right,
home dogs
exactly,
in
exactly.
college. Yeah, it's a good way to
It's the first-
profit.
Yeah. Then you got Georgia. I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna say Georgia wins that game.
Right.
Then you have Auburn, Missouri. Now, yes, you might mark Missouri up as a win, but if I think Missouri's fraudulent, I think Auburn could win that game.
Well, let me also put
the
this
road.
without knowing Missouri's schedule, which I don't want to get crazy
Yeah,
going
yeah,
off
yeah,
on
it's weak.
tangents, but that could be Missouri's first test.
It's
as well.
do you
Big time
think
spot.
Missouri got a good draw this year.
Do you think everyone's
schedule-wise.
kind of saying that they're frauds already?
No, Mizzou.
Like being at 11?
Oh, but we've
Not
seen
frauds,
this.
but
I don't know if they're
too
frauds
high.
or not, but Ev, you've seen this. A team like I'm thinking, you know who I'm thinking of is Maryland, where it's like a little bit of a run, a little bit of success, and then they get into a big time spot, and it's their first test, and they fall flat on their face. I don't know if Missouri is Maryland. I just know that that's kind of how it works in college football. When you haven't been tested in your first spot, it's a tough thing to do.
Mizzou is a couple of seconds away from not even being in the discussion as a top 11 team. Going at last year,
Right.
they had like some.
They pulled one against Kansas State.
catastrophes.
They
Yes.
pulled one against Kansas State. They won that
They're
game.
good. I mean, they're definitely good.
That was 2 years ago.
Mizzou's in a weird spot where I don't think their team, like the team itself, to me is not as good as it was last year because the defense is going to significantly downgrade, I think. But the schedule is favorable where like I think they could be in a similar spot like ranking wise and all that. But I don't think the team is as good, if that makes sense. Like they got a favorable SEC draw.
What do you got the rest of the way?
Then you got Kentucky, Vandy,
L.A. Monroe in a bye game.
and then you have Texas A&M at home.
Winnable but like tough game. We'll
And
see
you
how
got
that
a
shakes
rivalry
out.
game.
Yeah, I mean, this is a brutal SEC schedule.
And then you got a rivalry game against Bama.
But it's crazy. 'Cause this is like an average SEC schedule.
Right.
I just think
This is even like one of the. It's like a like middle of the like it's like a hard, but it's
But it's
not
hard.
Like, it's like normal hard for them. It's not like Florida hard.
Yeah.
from looking at it, the two toughest games are on the road. Everything else that's like kind of like winnable for you is at home.
Sure, but also you're saying like Oklahoma and
At home.
well I've the Mizzou or not, what was the other one? A&M. Like they're at home, but like those are still like super
Still
like
tough
They
games.
could
sure.
easily lose both those games.
Again, but you have to go off of if you give me the wins, if you give me those wins against Mizzou, then they're going to be highly ranked at A&M. in a position that it's like we're at home and our playoff hopes are still alive.
For sure, if you're just saying everything, if everything breaks
dude,
they'll go 9-3.
I don't think it's that ridiculous for Auburn to beat Oklahoma at home.
No, it's not
that
crazy.
ridiculous. It's not that ridiculous, but
I don't think it's that ridiculous for them to beat Mizzou.
But I think it's
Fits
ridiculous.
their narrative, Dukes. You know, their Nebraska narrative. They could go 9-0. You know, Iowa can't do it. It's all right. It's their narrative.
No, but you're just saying it's not that ridiculous to like win all these games. To win all of them, yes, it would be ridiculous.
All
like
of them.
to beat. I didn't
know you say it all.
To beat Oklahoma, A&M, Mizzou, like
at least one loss.
I think these are all very winnable games for Auburn.
You got to give one.
But you're saying they're going to just win all of them. Like that's ridiculous. Like that would be crazy.
No, I think that you know what? Fuck it. If I could place the bet right now, I'd take Auburn money line at home
against who?
Oklahoma. And I don't.
I think they can. I think there's a decent chance they win like one of the games, but to win like all three, I think would be highly unlikely.
Look, I think A&M and Oklahoma is very favorable to get at home. Like I think it's better than having Alabama or Georgia at home.
Well, yeah, because they would.
Yes,
they would just lose. They just lose regardless.
I think that Auburn gets 2 or 3 losses.
I also feel like a lot of people are down on
they're
Alabama
losing
this
5,
year, and
I like Alabama.
I feel like that's not very smart.
I have Alabama in the playoff.
I think it's crazy
I
not to.
have him third in the SEC.
That's the guy. DeBoer wins everywhere he goes.
Everywhere,
right?
and he does immediately too, for the most part.
And it's not like he did a lot of people from Alabama leave. I know they went to Ohio State.
Yeah, some
but
left. Some left.
For like
sure.
a lot stayed, obviously.
A lot stayed, but a lot left as well. A little bit of both. I mean, but that's college football now. You just like that's just kind of what.
I'm just saying because of Saban leaving. Like I understand if the coach leaves and he brought you in.
Yeah, but it's still Alabama, man.
They're gonna be good. I still think they're a top 10.
I think a lot of people shit on Milroe, but it's like
Best football and basketball school in the country. Why wouldn't you stay?
Country, yeah.
Bama's like a best bet this weekend.
Against Western Kentucky?
What's this line?
32.5.
Lock
31.5.
it in. Lock it in.
It's that or Colorado.
Oh man.
Pull up Missouri's schedule. Now I'm dying to see Missouri.
With Drinkowitz?
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Eli, didn't he have a quote last year? A crazy quote about the quarterback?
Fuck his daughter or some shit.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding. That's
no,
quote.
I didn't.
He basically just said that he's the kind of guy that you'd want to like. Like he basically was like, if I had a daughter, I'd be like proud, if like to him to like date her. Kind of.
All right, Murray State win, Buffalo win, Boston College win, Vanderbilt win. Oh, so they do get tested before Auburn.
Yeah. A&M I think is a loss. At A&M I think that's a tough place to play. I think that.
Who do they have in between Auburn?
Win a bowl though.
UMass
win.
I'll say this.
Then they got to go to Bama.
I'll say this. Auburn might be. I think Auburn should be rooting for Missouri to be undefeated going into that game. You got to look ahead. That's a great spot.
Well, now my question is.
That's a great. If I was Auburn, I'd be dying for Missouri to be undefeated.
They have a bye.
Nobody's thinking like that though, besides you.
They have a bye before the A&M game.
Thinking for you.
No.
You're the only person.
In the Auburn locker room, could you imagine somebody's like, dude, if we get them undefeated?
No, but you've seen it happen.
I know. It's brain. It's
exactly.
Brain.
I have a weird fucked up brain.
Yeah.
Also, they do get a bye before A&M game. Missouri.
Okay.
Question.
And then they end it pretty. They end it pretty easily.
Yeah, like the schedule's favorable. Like I think they could lose 2. Like they could just lose to Bama, lose to A&M, and be in like good shape.
So like that's Like
ending the year with South Carolina, even though it's 2 of them on the road, like
they can only lose 2.
South Carolina's a tricky game
Missouri can only lose 2, and then they'll very much be looked at in the playoff
for sure. And their schedule plays out. They definitely could.
Yeah,
they definitely could go 10.
Now they got to go get a win between Oklahoma, A&M.
Yeah.
Bama and Auburn.
Auburn shouldn't even be included in that, but yeah.
I think that there's a team in the SEC that's going to be real sexy this year, and with overs, and it's going to be Ole Miss. And I feel like they're going to be. Do you think that they are the second best team in the SEC?
I do.
Really?
I do. I picked them to go to the SEC championship game. I picked them to be like the 5 or 6 seed in the playoff. I think they're legit as fuck. What they did in the transfer portal, Jackson Dart is unbelievable.
Pull it up.
I
love seeing the schedule.
Their receiving core and tight end room is insane.
Ole Miss.
Insane. Offense should be
the receivers are always unbelievable.
So you're saying it's Georgia, Ole Miss, Alabama.
That's what I think. I'm not crazy big on Texas. People are still high on Texas, and I get that. Like I think partially rightfully so. I just think they
Plus,
lost.
Lane's like planting his flag there.
I really think this is the year that they get over at least that first hump and like make the playoff.
Can I
Who's
ask
the quarterback?
Title game, Jackson Dart.
Dart is still there?
Yes. I have a general question. Is there any possibility that Lane would go to Florida?
I think it's a lateral move at this point. Like
You
I think in Ole Miss, they have invested so much in the NIL and all that. Like they're one of the biggest, best NIL programs they have.
Hashtag come to the SIP.
Yeah, like they've really done.
Kind of has it so.
They've
good
done
there.
an unbelievable job. They've invested so much money. Ole Miss has put themselves in a spot to basically like be like, why would you leave?
You're
They
thinking,
bring it to the people.
But Dukes, and you're thinking a little logically. He also is a guy who would like thrive in Florida again. Like he would love to be. He is living in Mississippi.
But he's thriving in Ole Miss.
No, he's thriving, but like himself in life and how Lane Kiffin is, this is not a normal human being.
Joey Freshwater.
This is a guy who would love to be not in Mississippi.
I don't know about that.
I
think he's the king of Ole Miss right now. And at Florida, the expectations are
Expectations, that's just what I was going to say. Expectations at Florida are a championship. Right now, he's trying to have nice seasons.
Like,
Not nice or above
expectations
that.
though in Florida right now are getting 5 wins. Like that's where
No, but that's not the team. That's
I
the
understand.
win total.
One time.
I understand
It's
that.
one time.
I understand that. But you're him coming in and winning, making that team to 9 wins the next season. He's a king in Florida.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No, for sure not.
100%. If you brought a team that's dog shit right now to 9 to 10 wins, he is the king.
No, I think they would say that's the first step. Now go win.
Yeah,
a
of
championship.
course.
Dan
I'll go win a
Dan
championship.
Mullen did it. And he got fired.
But of course, you get that first step, and then they're.
But then the next step is win championships. There's no in between. There's no like, hey, you could have a nice season with 9 wins.
Dan
People in Ole
Mullen-
Miss have 9 wins. They're going like this. This is fucking unbelievable.
Yes,
Oh,
correct.
I
and
know.
Ole Miss, another team who has never been relevant in my
They've
life.
literally never won an
Never.
SEC title game.
Never
They
been
haven't.
I don't think they're
relevant in
going
my
to.
life.
Blindside.
But I'm saying Florida. Dan literally this happened in the last like 6 years. Dan Mullen literally made it to the SEC title game, gave that Bama team that won the Natty like everything they could handle. They lost a close game with Kyle Trask, Tony, and all them Pitts. Literally after the next season, he got fired.
But this is what I'm saying.
Like the
It's so-
expectations. I think you're not like giving enough.
Oh, I
respect
am.
to
I'm
the
giving
the
a
difference
lot.
in like the expectation level, where if he can just win like 7-8 games a year and be good for life. Georgia or Florida, that is not.
No, but I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that next year he has a grace period of a year because they've been so bad this year. They're gonna be so bad. You get a grace period that next year, especially if you win right away with 10 wins for Florida. That's then the expectations are back and everyone's loving him. Obviously, if he falls off a cliff, he's gone quickly there.
But I'm saying
I
he don't
get
need to
that.
fall off a cliff.
No, but
He could win like 7-8 games. and
oh,
he'd be
that's
gone.
falling off a cliff. What I'm saying, if you
2
go
less
from
games
10,
and fall off a cliff.
10 to 7 is a falling off a cliff.
But
in
he
Florida.
can do that at Ole Miss, and that won't he won't get fired.
Yeah, and I just think
It'll
that.
be like it's a little bit of a step back,
Yes.
but yeah.
But also, again, you're living in Florida.
But it's also
What I'm
Gainesville.
saying.
It's not like Miami.
Yeah, but
Gainesville's
still,
not like we're acting like it's like. I'm sure Gainesville's awesome. I'd love to go.
It's better than Mississippi.
Oxford, I'm sure. He's the king.
I've been to
there.
Oxford. It's great college town. It's not Florida's. You want to go to Florida, Mississippi,
Taxes too.
and Texas.
I guess, but I mean, I don't think he's gonna. I mean, I just don't think that's gonna happen.
I do think he's got something going at Ole Miss.
Of course he does, but someone
And he could have
people
left. Did he not? What was
Calipari had something going at Kentucky. They all leave.
right?
They talk. Yeah, but that.
What was the story this year? Was he?
They talked about with A&M a little bit.
Did he really have offers?
I think A&M, there was like a gap of. I think there was some talks with A&M. I don't know how. I think when I remember, I think it was kind of like inside like A&M doors. It was like very split of like some guys wanted him, some guys like were like we didn't want him.
Right.
But I don't think he was going to leave though, because even to me again, like it's kind of where the way Ole Miss has set themselves up with the NIL and all that. It's just to me.
I think Ole Miss to
lateral-ish.
A&M. Oh, and Ole Miss to A&M is a lateral move.
That's what I'm
for
saying.
sure.
And A&M's a great.
Florida's still Florida. I think Florida's a little bit of a step up.
It is, but I think at this point, I think like where they're at now,
Right.
and with like, it's funny that NIL has kind of made everyone thought it was going to make the gap bigger, and I think it's made the gap between everyone else smaller.
Right.
I think it's put more seats at the table. So I just don't think like the move to Florida was like. I just don't think it makes sense. Like I just like what like why would you uproot everything you have going here to go to Florida?
Where could you see him going?
I think he's
Well,
like
like-
in Ole Miss for a while. I really
Yeah.
do. Like look where he's built Ole Miss up to. Like why would you get off the train now?
Right.
Well,
Like,
it's
if
there
you
is a
culminate
place
to
with
this
more
point.
money, and like Texas A&M definitely has more money.
Yeah, maybe like a place with like a beach or something.
Yeah, like
Arizona.
you have to take that in. Like he is not a normal football coach.
But he's also getting on. He's also not like 35 anymore.
He thinks he is though.
You talk to him.
I
I mean, he's
mean, yeah,
he's almost 50 now.
kind of, yeah. Just saying, he thinks he's still 35.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm sure he does his thing still. But
His daughter just became a Kappa at Ole Miss, so he's at least locked in for 4 years.
I just think he's put himself in a spot where it's like, why would I leave Ole Miss? Like all you're just saying is like just different place to live. Like I think.
No, I also think money. I think that money.
But I think Ole Miss is
involved.
going to match. I think Ole Miss would match any salary demands.
But I'm saying Texas A&M is going to have more NIL than Ole Miss. I think so.
I mean, from what has happened this offseason, I think it's pretty like they're pretty much about the same. Like
If another
Ole Miss
team
will
has
put up
more-
any money
if
they need.
another team gives him more NIL, you don't think he'd have any inkling of going?
No, because I think Ole Miss could like match whatever, unless he literally got like the Ohio.
watches do they?
Unless he got Ohio State, yeah, right. A lot of them. Unless he literally got like offered like the shit we hit the fan for us, and he's going to Ohio State. Like I don't think he's going to get more NIL money pretty much anywhere else, unless he goes to Bama or Ohio State or Georgia, which he's not going to any of those places.
Well, not there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think he stays. I think he kind of stays and plants his flag there.
The other team I think would last to touch to close it. I know I'm on this team all the time, but I think Kansas State's for real.
I think they're good.
I think they're
How about
fucking
Clemmer
for real.
Going to Kansas and not even thinking about going to Kansas State.
I told him a text. I was like, "Why didn't you go to TCU?"
He said it was far. He said, but like he was going to Kansas. I saw his tweet and I texted him. I was like, "Go to Manhattan. You'll find a hat in 4 seconds."
Yeah, college just started. All the
Schools in
freshmen are
town.
buying shit.
Just go to Manhattan. You'll find a hat. And he was like, "Oh, I didn't know."
Yeah, you got to look at purple teams. I
It
would have
was
been looking up
huge,
purple high schools too.
Thank good friend Marty. Text him at 8 a.m. this morning, but 9 a.m.
Yeah, but I just think Avery Johnson's legit. I think Kleiman's really building something over there. I think Kansas State's legit.
I think they're a top 3 team. So
I
I'm
also fucking love Kansas State.
But
I get it.
but
I
it's,
get it.
there's backing. there,
Love
man.
Kansas State.
You
You know
always love
why
Kansas
though?
State.
Because they're a fucking program. They fucking do the same shit year in and year out, and it works. The same. Why do you
They're a
like? You
program.
can't say. Judge here. He can't say he loves Iowa and I love Kansas State, and then he shits on Kansas.
Well, I was
a program.
I was abysmal, like to watch.
But it's a
Like,
program. They do what they do. They got big fat linemen and they run the ball and don't score on defense.
I was a program.
I was a program, so
Iowa
is
is a
Kansas State.
program.
Kansas State is a program.
I don't know if Kansas
Dude,
State's
and
a
also that was what pissed me
program.
off of the Iowa thing. You gave them losses that they never fucking have.
Exactly.
Who?
Iowa.
They shit on
Yeah.
Iowa way
I
more.
agree.
I didn't shit on
I didn't really shit on them.
Both of you. You said they were 9-3 ceiling.
shit
I
all
literally
over
said 11-1 was the ceiling.
Yeah, more Rico then. You said 9-3 ceiling. That was wrong. And you gave Nebraska 7.
I guess
wins in a
everybody's
row.
ceiling is 12 and 0, but
Oh no.
No.
Because not you. Because ceiling, you're saying if every ball bounces
okay,
right.
yeah, right.
Even Auburn
Like if every ball bounces
Every
right,
ball
they
bounces right, yeah. I
they
think
could
they're
go
11
11
and
and
1.
Nebraska, you gave 7-0.
Nebraska's got a great schedule.
Does
They really
Auburn
do.
does Auburn make the playoff with their 2 losses to Georgia?
Now
and
we got to.
Alabama?
All right, so
I think
who's
so.
on team?
I think so.
You
think
got.
so?
Because then they would have wins over who?
Yep,
Missouri
yep.
and A&M? Yeah, I think they make
A win
that.
against on the road against
Dukes.
11 Missouri.
Dukes, you got Auburn, right?
No, I'll take Auburn.
Well, no, you have to. Now you fought for
No,
them.
I want to pick another one.
No, you got Auburn. Rico, who do you want? You either get Nebraska or Kansas State.
Both.
Oh, you get one.
In terms of outperforming,
Just like it's your
I'll take Kansas because I'm already on Kansas State, so that's my team regardless.
All right,
but I will say Nebraska.
I'll
say
You
Nebraska
have Nebraska. I have
because I think
Iowa,
Nebraska
and
wins
who do
those
you have?
games.
One of these type of teams.
Not Ohio State, like one of your.
Yeah.
It's your team.
I've got a few this year, like in that same realm.
Take one.
I guess I technically have 2. I have NC State and Iowa State. Those are like my 2 teams that I'm like.
Go
buying in
NC
on.
State. Because
Okay.
one of ours will be gone after Iowa and Iowa State. Not gone, but
NC State's a tough one too because they play Tennessee week like 2 or 3.
I don't think Nebraska can make the playoff though. I want that on the record.
Iowa can make the play. Well, why not? They're 7-0.
They still have a tough schedule the rest of the way. They are Nebraska. I don't think they're running the table.
You have to find a sleeper to be in the playoff. You're basically saying
And Kansas State to sleeper to make the playoff. Kansas State.
I got Iowa.
NC State.
Yeah.
I have 3 sleepers.
Who are they?
Auburn,
Yep.
Georgia Tech.
He's thinking.
Georgia Tech.
It was just 1-1 game.
Yep.
BC just based off aura at the quarterback position.
Who's their quarterback?
Thomas Castellanos.
Castellanos.
The most. If he
He's
was
a
on,
great-
if he was
he's-
on,
I was trying to say it
Unbelievable
today.
if he was on
Pick'em.
Bama, he'd be in the Heisman conversation.
Unbelievable runner.
If he was on,
Can't throw though, but great, like all world runner, but cannot throw.
I can't. throw.
I think about his 3rd and 5 conversion against Northern Illinois.
I could just see the scouting room. Like, we got a kid, he's an all-time runner. But he just, or it's like, all right, well, what are his downsides? Well, he can't throw. All right, where do you want to put him? Quarterback.
He
boom.
can throw when he's running around and the cornerback like comes up and just a
Yeah.
wide receiver wide open downfield. And I also like UNLV with Matt Sluka, the Holy Cross transfer.
Oh, so how about this? Fiala? What's his name? The kid, or Mavea?
Pavia?
Pavia.
Oh, wait, you're saying the kid that went from UNLV to
UNLV to USC. Isn't he the backup at USC?
Iva, or how you say
Iva?
that was
And he
quarterback
didn't win the
last year.
job.
Yeah, he played well for UNLV last
He
year.
was unbelievable for UNLV.
They
He
lost
did
him
not
that-
win the job at
He lost him out
USC.
his title game.
He did not win the job at USC.
Over Miller Moss. I mean, he threw 6
Yeah.
touchdown passes in the bowl game.
All right.
He's been there for 3 years. Or 2 at least
Yeah.
30, I think.
It's worth noting. All right, picks. I'm on the Braves today. Braves. Ev.
They don't fucking lose.
Bosco,
No, I
can
know. If the Mets are going to make me suffer and the Braves are going to make me suffer.
Cubs
I
win
might as
every
well.
night. Mets win every night. The Braves just always win.
Bosco, you were wrong, by the way.
What?
Diego Pavia is at Vanderbilt.
I thought that's who he was talking about.
He was talking about the wrong kid.
He was saying names that sound similar. Diego Pavi's my guy.
Maivia or something. Was the kid at
It's like Malva,
UNLV.
Maiva, something like that. Yeah,
Maiva. UNLV. Ev, who do you got?
I'm on the Astros money line. Taiwan Walker's on the mound. I'm fading the shit out of him. And then I'm also on, where is it? I'm on the Orioles Dodgers over tonight. Over 8.5.
Okay. Money.
It's currently playing, but I'm on the Cubs. They're going against Skeens. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the first. I have the Royals to sweep the Guardians 4 games in a row, I think it will be, or 3, and they're in first place now, which is crazy. Guardians were up 9 games this season. They now are not. I'm going with the Astros, and then I'm going with the Athletics plus 105.
I looked at the A's. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's also kind of interesting and cool that Sale and Skeens pitch on the same days. It seems like every time.
Oh, they match up.
They're both pitching on the same day
Cycles
today
match
for
up.
the
Yeah,
Cy
hey,
Young.
shout out the Cubs fucking getting a run on them already.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen often.
Yeah. All right, that is Pick Central. We got the Yak up next.
Fucking they tried to